Hello everyone, and welcome to this Quetzalcoatl guide for the Aztec DLC. We all know Quetzalcoatl has those cheaper calpulis as well as their additions, but for the Archaic Age, for the build order, you might not see me using them because we would like to age up as soon as possible with this guide, so we can apply pressure with the Texipitla heroes and the Water Priests pretty much. But yeah, you definitely want to be grabbing those additions, the calpuli additions, around 6-7 minutes into the game, before 10 minutes obviously, so you can get most out of it. So yeah, that bonus is quite important for the Quetzalcoatl god. So we got a nice little spawn here where we're able to lure those wild animals underneath the town center. You might not be as lucky in other type of situations. That's no problem. You just have to have a villager on wood and you'll be alright. We will not be focusing too much on the build order. I have already done a build order video for Quetzalcoatl. Here we're focusing a lot on decision, mechanics, and overall macro. This is pretty much a guide, not a build order video. Alright, so you will be using your scout for aggressive scouting, obviously, around 2-3 minutes into the game. Once you scout slightly your sides, like I have an idea of what's going on, I see a second town center, some hunt, another large gold mine on the side, and now I'm just scouting around my opponent's base to see where I could apply potential pressure. We're gonna be going slightly faster here, because this is not a build order video, and here's the villager distribution. You'll be having around 4 to food, 5 or 6 on gold, and 4 to wood. This way, you'll be able to sustain a water priest production from your temple, and with the extra food in the bank, you'll be able to train villagers over to food once you get to the classical age, because, yeah, food is kinda more important. Alright, water priests will be sent aggressively. We're preparing to apply some pressure. Look for locations you can make that pressure happen, like for example, there could be some hunt over here, but it has obviously been lured, but in other map spawns you might be able to apply pressure here. But for me, I can apply pressure on the gold mine slightly. So you see, I'm not instantly converting that hero, because I first want him to lose some hit points. Once I convert him to a Texipitla, for those who don't know what that is, it's the ability over here. Your hotkey is probably Y. For me, I set it up on X, where we're able to convert a Water Priest into a Texipitla. One at a time is possible. Around 4 minutes into the game, you'll be sacrificing your first villager. I already did. It didn't show, but you see me having 15 favor. It's because I sacrificed a villager just now. We were busy looking here. And yeah, you'll be grabbing one from gold, you'll be sacrificing it at the temple, and you'll be a happy Quetzalcoatl with favor. Alright. Before you convert him into a Texipitla, take a look where it be possible to use him. Right now, I'm converting him into a Texipitla because I know my opponent is hunting over here. So now I can idle those hippos. You'll be sending the Texipitla hero in the front line, so he tanks the town center arrow, because he's gonna die anyways. You see, he's on a timer. Once this timer ends, he's dead. So yeah, tank the town center arrow fire, use the rest of the units to idle those villagers. It's not really about killing villagers right now, it is about idling villagers. If you can kill villagers, that's extra, and I'm very happy for you, extremely happy for you. But look at those villagers who have been idle for a very long time, garrison and garrison from the town center. The hero has been taken down, and we have idled all of my opponent's villagers for a long time already. This strategy, by the way, works against 95% of the gods, so always feel free to do this. It might not just work against Hades, where sentinels take a place, and really you face issues against that. Or if your Texipitla hero gets bolted by Zeus, but you can just repeat the process. You can build a new warrior priest to convert, But yeah, these are the only gods you should worry about. Against anyone else, you can literally do this strategy against any other god into the game. Alright. You see, I'm just harassing a shrine, idling a Miko, applying soft pressure over here, making sure my opponent is not gonna go out to try and hunt or mine any gold outside of his base. That's a pretty good deal for us. And here's the follow-up for you. We've been getting the calpulis. Obviously, we're playing, we're playing Quetzalcoatl. Kalpulis additions are one of our main bonuses, so you see I have already converted a lumber outpost, mostly for defense. If I wasn't scared of wizard raids, I'd probably be converting that into a craft shop, Kalpuli. But I'm doing the lumber outpost for the villagers, the wood villagers, to have the extra gathering rate, and for the tower as well as the garrison mechanic. If I want to garrison low HP villagers, I can easily go for it. And of course we have the livestock pen on the food Kalpuli where I'm gathering chickens. We will be switching the livestock pen over to berries very soon because we're running out of chickies, you know. We will be leaving a warrior priest to pray at the temple, so we don't have to sacrifice villagers anymore to convert a warrior priest into a Texipitla. And once again, choose your low HP warrior priests to convert into a Texipitla, because it goes back to full HP once he's converted. So that's one important thing to keep in mind.
Before moving on with the guide, I would like to announce that I have officially released the Ultimate Aztec course. The course includes 21 lectures, 3 hours video duration. This course is designed for all levels. We get to explain the basic for the Aztecs, such as counter system, human units, heroes, myth units, a quiz at the end of the first chapter to see what you've learned from the videos, moving over the Aztec mechanics, such as traps, sacrifices, all the god powers and the favor system, as well as a quiz. You get to have all the way the build orders for all the 3 Aztec gods on land and on water. And at the very end, you get to have 2 guides for every single Aztec god, Huitzilopochtli, Tezcatlipoca, Quetzalcoatl, and quizzes for you to see what you've learned from the course. Every course, including the Aztec ones, are one-time payment, lifetime access, and all updates are free of charge. So, if you wanna learn how to play these 2 bad girls over here, waste no time and purchase already the course linked in the description.
I will be training warrior priests for a while, up to the mythic age. The warrior priest is about to be converted. Make sure every 40 seconds to 1 minute, 1 minute maximum, you do this mechanic over here. You repeat this every 1 minute basically. Because you will be idling the economy forever. This is like a small Son of Osiris, 20 damage to every villager he hits. That's insane. So a mini Son of Osiris in your opponent's base, pretty hard to deal with. Look at all of that economy once again being idled. That's what you're doing. That's why you're doing this basically. That's the whole reason you're doing this. An armory to help you get to the heroic age. You're queuing villagers to food, obviously. Switching the Kalpuli, the livestock pen, over the berries now. And whenever you try to hunt outside, you will also be switching that Kalpuli over there, the addition over there, for example, wherever you hunt. We're pre-queuing the Koyolx Hui, maybe? No, maybe somebody in the comments could help me out with the pronunciation of that goddess. That was kinda tough. And yes, we will be slightly going forward. Because this strategy, this Quetzalcoatl strategy, is about early super aggression into a semi-fast heroic. You see, we're not focusing much on wood. We only have 3 villagers on wood. The rest is just food and gold to help us get to the heroic age. Now, there is no perfect amount, you know, there is no perfect number of warrior priests you should build. I have around 8, 9. Maybe in your game you might have 10 up to 15. It really depends on how many you need. If you were like under heavy pressure right now, you might have had way more than I do. But I'm not really under heavy pressure, I'm under soft pressure. And worst case scenario, I can upgrade my towers if necessary. Another warrior priest has been sent over my opponent's base, so I can convert into a Texipitla and harass the economy even further. As like you should. And yeah. Do not underestimate the enemy units. Samurai would completely obliterate those warrior priests, so... Yeah, the noble's hat was only thrown if I could build some archers to counter the samurai, but yet again, preferably we want heroic age and the noble's hat units. Of course, you're gonna have an agave bloom. Works very similar to peach blossom. You can use if you run out of food. You will obviously use it next to your Kalpuli livestock pen, so you get the extra gather rate boost. And if you're scared about losing your temple, feel free to upgrade your towers. I have pre-queued that. Might be on the way. And keep training warrior priests. We already used a Texipitla hero in this location. We kinda missed that. We were busy looking at the defense. And yeah, Use the low HP warrior priests to do the bloodletting at the temple, because they have already lost hit points, right? The minimum amount of hit points they fall to is 40. Right now he has 50, so this is the type of warrior priest I would probably use for the bloodletting at the temple. Only the low HP ones. You'll see me doing that even more later. So remember what our goal is now. Once we get to the heroic age, we are definitely looking to drop basically Great Temple on a gold mine, whether that's defensively or aggressively. I'll be using my Tailwind, so I can kill enemies over there. 7.2 speed. I definitely do a good job over here. I was really wondering why my opponent wasn't really committing into the fight. Was probably do fine, but my plan here is to basically convert a hero to a Quetzalcoatl in case I'm in trouble. So, if you see yourself nicely dealing with your opponent just by building warrior priests, like if you see yourself not being under pressure, literally feel free to use the god power and the warrior priests in the economy. You see, I'm using now the starfall on the economy. I'm spawning this GG Mythal to kill enemy villagers. And on top of that, I'm converting another warrior priest into a Quetzalcoatl. A reminder, we can only have one at a time, so I cannot convert warrior priests right now to Quetzalcoatl. This hero has to die first. His duration has to end, or die at least. Alright. So you see there is a lot of raiding going around. We're catching up to the... We're basically catching up to the villages we lost by edging up to the heroic age. Not really lost, but town center was idle by aging up, basically. You cannot train villages while aging up, is what I'm trying to say. But anyways, so if you could take advantage of your aggression and of your god power the way I did, then feel free to be even more aggressive. I'm building my second temple very forward, in a very forward location, and I'm keep spamming out those warrior priests basically. And I will be building a new great temple nearby once I have enough resources for it. We need a lot of gold for that. You see, always make sure you switch the additions to the new locations you're hunting or mining gold. That's quite important. And the aggression has really paid off for ourselves. GG Mythals are good raiding units. They have 5.3 speed, 5.8. A nice ability that stuns enemy units. Feel free to use them for raiding as well. So we just keep building those warrior priests. Something you can do as long as you don't have great temples, but really your biggest advantage is switching into the great temple units. That's your number one priority. You don't want to stay for way too long building just warrior priests. Their value goes down at some point. They stop being too good at some point at huge numbers because of their cost. They're quite expensive on gold. Again, a reminder to use the GG Mythal warriors to raid around. Like, feel free to even upgrade them if you like. You can always go for that. And you see me now dropping the Great Temple super aggressively. Now, in other situations, you might be under heavy pressure. If you were under heavy pressure, then it would definitely be a better idea to drop the Great Temple on a safer location, like here. That would secure my gold mine, it would secure my hunt, and we would all be happy and nice about it. But since I've been the aggressor, I've been the one raiding, I've been applying pressure and everything, I'm able to drop my Great Temple extremely forward in a very aggressive location. The unit you will be mostly training are the Shorn ones, because they kill literally anything they can reach, whether it's samurai, archers or whatever. As long as they reach them, they will be killing it. Very high DPS, lots of hit points and everything. Make sure you defend any type of aggression, any type of raid. It's a good idea to keep a hero in the back, the way I'm doing. No matter what god you're playing against, always keep a hero in the back, because myth unit raids are way too OP in this game. So we gotta deal with them as well. Mediums, the short ones overall are like the best anti-infantry unit in the game. I know that sounds crazy, but they even beat the samurai. They're even better than the samurai. The ability makes them like that. And kinda the range as well, so the damage area, I mean, so yeah, you gotta use them. You gotta use them a lot. I guess it's harder to build them because they're only built at the Great Temple. Maybe that's why they are so powerful. So yeah, we'll be going slightly more forward. We're attempting to make a town center attack. And if you try to commit to any type of fight, make sure you are ready for it. I might not feel that ready, seeing my population is only 100. Have to face way more units. And I'll have to admit, my opponent has been really raiding me. That's kind of relevant, but yeah, if you get raided, gotta bring some units back to help you defend any type of raids. With a new bloodletting changes, feel free to use those priests to do the bloodletting, even when they're at full HP, but mostly use the low ones. You see, I'm using the very low HP warrior priests because they can no longer lose hit points. 40 HP is the minimum amount they'll be dropped when they pray at the temple. So if your priests are below 40 HP, definitely use them to do the bloodletting. It's free favor. Look at that going up. So definitely use that. I'll be giving myself a second Great Temple because we really want to spam out those Great Temple units when we play the Aztecs. The strongest units the Aztecs have. And yes, we can go slightly faster now because it's been mostly us defending raids right now. It's been mostly defending. Yeah, feel free to get the heavy Great Temple soldiers. The only reason it costs 75 food, 75 gold is because of this technology over here. Let me show you. It's at the temple. Yes, this god has it. This thing. Koyolxokhui reduces the resource cost of upgrades, research at the temple and Great Temple. So this is the first upgrade you wanna get once you get up to the heroic age. Because from 300 food, 300 gold you have to pay for heavy Great Temple units. You suddenly only have to pay 75 food, 75 gold. Way less. Extremely cheap upgrades. All the temple upgrades, all the Great Temple upgrades, everything at a way cheaper cost. So this is why I'm paying so little resources just to upgrade my units and everything. As well as the levy soldiers, look at that. Oh my god. Less than 60 resources. So cheap, so cheap. So we can train them faster, basically. Alright. As long as you are not attacking, feel free to use the warrior priests at the temples. Now, our goal is to basically maintain map control, make sure the opponent doesn't really get that many resources outside. My opponent has been hunting and mining gold, so I'm slowly gonna be the attacker. We slowly have to attack, because remember, when you play the Aztecs, your power spikes are in the heroic age, your biggest power spikes. Late game is a different story. If you can utilize your bonuses and your god powers in the late game to their full extent, then yes, you're gonna have a very powerful late game. But heroic age, the Great Temple units, is one of your best power spikes you can use to win the game. With the extra favor gathered, you will be recasting your Tailwind. Every time your opponent tries to run away from you, you will be casting the Tailwind, so you can basically destroy armies again and again with this god power over here. That's why I'm gathering favor right now. Getting also some of those unique technologies to help me out economically and in the long term. But yeah, we still have 50 favor. That's why we're going for that. Again, once you deal with any type of raids, focus on applying the pressure. Focus on denying gold mines, taking down buildings that are quite, quite exposed, like these ones. Go slightly faster. We're almost at full population. If you take fights at full population, you're more than likely to win fights, because those short ones really do a good job at full pop. I'll be using my god power to try and escape from this terrible situation. And then we will be We might be turning around to take that fight. There we go. And if your opponent switches to any type of archers, at first you can switch into the... At first you could switch into the Otontin Smashers, the tank arrows a lot. But you should really consider building a new type of unit to counter archers or any type of archers. If your opponent tries to take the fight, once again, the short ones win if they manage to get on top of the archers. They definitely win. So as long as my opponent is not running away, I'm happy to just take that fight. And we've won a big battle over this location. We can go just slightly faster, and you'll see me switching into a different army composition. Now, about the economy upgrades, you might think, but why have you delayed them so much? And my response to that is that we first prioritize the Calpulis. Every Calpuli addition is worth of an economic upgrade. So I've technically had pickaxe and hand axe since the very early classical age. Now getting these two upgrades for me, it's like getting Bosho and Shaft Mine. Literally, because I already have the 15%. It's actually 10%. So yeah, it's actually only 10% for these two upgrades. So I already had plus 15% previously, like I had a better version of pickaxe and hand axe previously. So now we're just getting those upgrades as an addition as well. So, and if you're focusing on map control too hard, then it is better you delay those economy upgrades for a while, as long as your number one priority is to get out units. Another hero is being converted to a Texipitla to help me out save my sword ones from the upcoming army over here. See me switching. And feel free to use few groups of army, like small groups of army, to raid any type of villages around the map while maintaining your huge advantage here. Your sword ones only have to get on top of the archers once, only once, because once they do, they stun them with a special ability and they then kill them. That's why I kept building those sword ones, even though I'm definitely just fully against horse archers right now. Alright, can just go slightly faster. There is a little raiding operation going here for me. Nothing too special, some buildings being destroyed. Once you hit full population, feel free to get your second town center, that's how it works. That's when it's the safest to grab a second town center at full pop. The low HP warrior priests will be bloodletting at the temple for free favor. That's amazing. Look at that, 0.03 favor per second. That's not bad at all. It's free, you know? It's military that is praying, it's not villagers. And you'll see me now switching into anti-archer units. We have to deal with fast-running horse archers. In the long term, we don't want to overstay with short ones. So now we're focusing in the long term. We're building the Eagle Warriors. The Tailwind has been used to clean up all of those fast-running archers. You will be casting the Tailwind against any type of archers if you're full of infantry. Because look at the amount of damage done. Look at how many have gone down. And behind that you will be training anti-archer units such as medium, you know, medium or heavy Eagle Warriors. And yeah, Coyote Warriors can help you out if you want to catch up to them. But I mostly recommend the Eagle Warriors. They also have +2 range, right? It's 2 extra range. Yes, 2 extra range for Quetzalcoatl. So definitely focus more on them. Can slightly go faster now. Because you see, it has mostly been about maintaining map control and spamming out mostly the Great Temple units, which has given us most of map control for the entire game. At first it was warrior priests. Then in the heroic age, it's been sword ones. And now in the long heroic age, it's gonna be Eagle Warriors plus sword ones. That's one of the best army compositions you could do for the Aztecs. We no longer really need to go this slow because the guide has been definitely shown. I'm now just analyzing the recorded game for you. That's pretty much how you're supposed to play the Aztecs. Now it's about map control, you know, keeping things simple, making sure you gather most of the hunt in the minimap, making sure you have more villagers, mining the gold mines, defending the raids, couple of walls to help you out, you know. And once you are ready to push an enemy base, that's when the taunting smashers take place. Look at how fast they take down buildings. These units are stronger than the Atlantean destroyers. They can even take their ground against melee enemy units such as, you know, berserks, spearmen. They can fight, is what I'm trying to say. Let's just go slightly faster here. Because it's been just cleaning up units and everything. Now the Eagle Warriors, as I said, will be holding their position against any type of archers. Yumi Horse archers at this point. This could be Chariot archers if you played against Egyptians. This could be Peltasts if you were against the Greeks. It could be multiple varieties of units. And during a big fight, you will always be converting a Warrior Priest into a Texipitla. Try to dodge any type of god powers, whether it's a lightning storm or a volcano or an inferno. Try to just run away, regroup, rebuild your army, repopulate. Then feel free to really spam out those units again and start applying pressure. Mythic Age is on the way, Tlaloc. We will be dropping that god power at the enemy. And then there'll be nothing really left for your opponent to do at that point. As long as you micro your Eagle Warriors to the enemy archers, your front line will be doing literally anything else. And when it comes down to the late game, you can play a mix of units. I'm now adding up Ocelotl Warriors, because the Ocelotl Warriors, you know, the Noble's Hat units have plus 15% hit points, so that applies to the Ocelotl Warriors as well as the Eagle Warriors. So I'm playing a big mix now of Noble's Hats and Great Temple units. But yeah, so definitely build a variety of units here. Just avoid building the War Hat units, they're too weak. The only reason we're trading Noble Hat units right now is because of Quetzalcoatl has, you know, has unique main bonuses for them. Otherwise, it would only be the Great Temple units. Alright. You'll be seeing me making a last push. And then the opponent should resign here. If we reveal that. Feel free to use aggressively or defensively your Pillar of Tlalocan. And you will be winning the game with ease. So this was pretty much the Quetzalcoatl guide. If you would like to see even way deeper dives into the Aztecs, I've made a whole brand new Aztec course. It's linked in the description. Feel free to check it out. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.